Good morning, everybody. Today we are doing a true crime reading. We are going to read about the text messages exchanged between the surviving roommates in the Idaho 4 case. Thank you for all your kind messages, your love, your support. The ex-tropical cyclone Alfred has gone, well, mostly gone from our area. There's still extreme flooding in some areas. We were cut off for a few days from the roads. Our roads were flooded. We were isolated. We had no power. The energy company restored the power within 40 hours, 40. So it was a couple of days with no power, no internet. I did do those couple of readings by torchlight and managed to upload those with very minimal internet, using a hotspot my phone was up a tree in a Ziploc bag. The top of the garden was the only spot we could get Wi-Fi. Anyway, all looking back to normal in our area, just sending love and prayers to those who are still underwater. So this is the terrible case where the 4 young students were slain in their beds, and of course Bryan Kohberger on trial for that. The trial coming soon, later this year at last, and the question is about these text messages what would you say, exchanged between the surviving roommates. They've just been made public for the first time. Caregiver, and I'm thinking this is the families and the community at large just really expecting those young adults to have more common sense. So when the one girl heard the commotion, she was texting everybody else, phoning everybody else. She got no reply excepting from the one roommate who was downstairs. And it's very strangely, she says, my phone is about to die. And then the other one says, oh, run down quickly to my bedroom and we can be together. Which, the fact that she did go downstairs to the other girl's bedroom, which we now know, is a bit strange. Fire. She didn't want to be in the firing line. She genuinely was afraid, but not too afraid to run downstairs. So this tells me that I don't believe she actually thought that there was murder and mayhem happening. She was aware enough to know that something bad, possibly something unusual, had happened. She didn't know what it was. It frightened her, but she wasn't too frightened to run downstairs. If she had known what had happened, if she had had any inkling that 4 of her friends had been brutally murdered, she would not have run downstairs like that. Meeting, yeah, she wanted to meet with the other girls. She didn't know what to do, so she did run downstairs. She ran downstairs, and this was, I think, after the suspect or the murderer had fled. Tell us more. Now, the prosecution is desperate to get these texts in, and the defense is desperate to keep these texts out. And I wonder why that is, because the texts don't actually say anything about the slaying as such. They knew that there was some issue, some problem, something scary happening. It does create a timeline, but it's just, yeah, I'm not sure why the defense is fighting tooth and nail to keep these texts out. If you have any idea why you think that is, neighborhood. Maybe it's the timing of the thing that can place him in the neighborhood. And remember, the address of the place was 112 King Road, and you've got a 1 and a 2. Yeah, just, and the texts will come in. I mean, even though the defense is fighting to keep them out, I don't see how it harms them in any way. The girls were scared. Man-made disaster. Yeah, and this this is going to come down to the credibility of the girls who exchanged the texts. Why did they wait so long? So they exchanged these texts about being afraid, and then the one ran to the other one's room. The one that saw the bushy-eyed man ran downstairs to the other one's room, and then they must have fallen asleep or something, because the next we hear from them is them texting their friends at 10:30 a.m. and then it takes them till almost midday before they venture to go and see what had happened, and then they call the authorities, and it's not even clear if it's them that called the authorities. Healing. Maybe being able to tell their stories will be the thing that helps them heal. Maybe it's the trial is going to bring some healing to the families. What else about these texts? Party, yeah, and there was talk of them all having been out partying, had too much to drink, and initially they thought that Zaina Konodal, that was the first person they come across, they thought they couldn't wake her up, and they thought that she was passed out. But in the 911 call, they don't say anything about seeing any blood. And the thing that confuses me was, I thought that Ethan, the male roommate, was found at the door of his and Zaina's room, and then Zaina was found inside. So they would have had to have gone past Ethan to get to Zaina. This is the roommates, but they don't mention Ethan at all. Tunnel. It was a very dark tunnel. Yeah, these roommates were probably impaired as well, but even so, the fact that she was so scared, it's just very, 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 very strange. The whole text thing. Anyway, I don't want to blame them or anything. I mean, they're young and stupid and don't have much life experience. This one popped out, celebrity. What's his name? Brian Kober is becoming a bit of a celebrity in prison. I wonder if Wooded area is where he disposed of the knife, perhaps. That has never been found. Social media. I wonder if the social media is going to track him or reveal that he was following some of the girls. There's some speculation that he was following at least one of the girls, and there he is. He did a cleanup inside. So this was the new thing that was also revealed with these, along with these text messages, is that the one girl thought she saw him carrying a portable vacuum cleaner. So that could be the cleanup while he was still inside the house. Mountains, yeah, he fled to the mountains. There definitely was death. Regret. I wonder if he regrets, not so much I'm getting with that card what he did, but that he got caught. If of course it is him. And also the roommates would regret very much not going to check on their friends. Or, on the one hand, they were regretting it because they would wonder if they could have saved them. But on the other hand, they would be saying, well, if we had gone to check on them, we might have been dead too. Although, once the perpetrator had left the building, my understanding is, and I remember hearing this somewhere, that the one surviving roommate went and locked the glass door behind him. So let's just get an overall energy of how these text messages might affect the case. That's normally my protection card. Failed to protect their friends. Oh, that's a predatory energy. Again, this could show their state of mind, the fear, orchestration, and that might be the vacuum cleaner that he supposedly was seen carrying. And somebody, one of the commentators said, oh, well, you should know that you can't clean up a bloody crime scene with a vacuum cleaner. But yes, the vacuum cleaner might have been there to help, not so much on the bloody side of things, but more on the sort of any fibers or anything like that. Maybe to vacuum his. Apparently, he had one of those Tyvek suits on. Vacuum that down first before he encountered the victims. I'm not sure. Not sure. There's another protection card. The roommates. What had happened. The terror that happened was bigger than the roommates. The roommates, there was nothing that they could have done. And there's my very tragic death card. They were dragged kicking and screaming into the next world. Again, nothing that the surviving roommates could have done would have prevented it. And again, I'm not sure exactly what the text messages, how the text messages are going to show anything other than what these two young people thought. Well, not really what they thought, but their emotions at the time. It was something that creeped them out, even though they didn't know what was happening. What do you think? It's just so strange to me that these young people didn't call for help. They didn't even call friends or anything when their own friends who they were worried about didn't answer. That to me is an enigma, and it could just be that they were that inebriated that they passed out. Could be that, but they were aware enough to know that possibly there was a problem. But again, I don't think that they had any conception that their friends were truly in danger. Um, I like to think that if they had that idea, then they certainly would have done something about it. But again, young people, they don't like to disturb the police. They didn't know if the friends upstairs were having a fight or an argument, and they didn't want to get their friends in trouble. It's a very strange and tragic situation. What do you think? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like if you do, and subscribe if you haven't. That's another protection card of mine. They just wanted to pretend or imagine that nothing bad really was happening. So they just blocked it out of their minds and pretty much went to sleep, not realizing the seriousness of what had happened. And the horse's bolted card in the upside down. That makes me wonder if at least one of the victims could have been saved if they had immediately called for medical help. Of course, they didn't know that medical help was needed, but again, if they had had a bit more life experience, maybe out of an abundance of caution, they would have called for help, particularly where they didn't see, when they didn't get any response from their texts and their phone calls to their friends. Anyway, my friends, have a wonderful day. Back off to work today. We didn't get too much damage, thankfully. We did get a bit of flooding, not too bad. The sandbags, we were out there in the pouring rain, getting the sandbags in the right position, and they really helped us. And I really appreciate all the messages of kindness and support you've all sent. And do let me know what topics other than Meghan Markle you would like me to be reading on, because I don't know about you, but I am pretty sick of her as a topic. And it would be good to move on to other things that people are interested in. Take care. Hope you have a fantastic day, and may the angels walk with you wherever you go.